Your joints don't stop working as you age, but after 50, the load gets heavier. A lot heavier. And most people notice it too late. When the stiffness sets in. When that burning ache wakes you up at 3 a.m. When the swelling around your big toe keeps getting worse, and you don't know why. Here's the strange part. Uric acid doesn't announce itself. It's the only metabolic waste in your body that crystallizes silently inside your joints for months, sometimes years, before you feel a single thing. It can be building to dangerous levels right now. And it will never tell you. Not directly. What it sends instead is the slow stuff. Morning stiffness that takes too long to clear. That vague ache in your feet by evening. Swelling you keep blaming on standing too long. You blame your diet. You blame your age. You blame the weather. Meanwhile, the real story is happening somewhere you can't see. The standard advice, cut red meat, avoid alcohol, drink more water, is good advice. It's just incomplete. It treats the diet, not the chemistry. And after 50, the chemistry is what needs the help. There are 5 breathing habits backed by real research that may change that. 5 things that cost you nothing. Most aren't on TV. Most doctors never mention them. The strongest one is something your body is already doing right now, and almost everyone is doing it wrong. Let me walk you through all 5. Some I'd recommend. Some, honestly, I'd skip. The last one I'd start tonight, before you go to sleep. Quick thing first. Here's how uric acid actually leaves your body because most people have it backwards. 2 stages. Stage 1 breaks down purines and produces uric acid. Stage 2, your kidneys filter it out and flush it through urine. After 50, stage 2 slows down. Production keeps happening. Clearance can't keep up. That's the gap. Here's what almost nobody talks about. How you breathe directly affects your blood pH, and how efficiently your kidneys clear uric acid. Every habit on this list is trying to close that gap. Number 5. Pursed lip breathing. On a score, 4 out of 10. I'll be quick. This isn't what I'd build a routine around. Inhale, through the nose. Exhale slowly, through puckered lips. It improves gas exchange, slows your breathing rate, lowers physical tension. The research is real. But for uric acid specifically, the effect is indirect. It calms the nervous system. That reduces systemic inflammation, and inflammation does make gout flares worse. Studies on relaxation-based habits in elderly patients found measurable drops in serum uric acid. But pursed lip breathing alone is the mildest path on this list. If you already do it for anxiety or lung health, great. Don't go out of your way for gout. Score 4, real, but mild. Number 4. Sleep breathing and airway position. On a score, 6 out of 10. Now we step up. This one works on the part of gout almost nobody thinks about. What happens to your uric acid while you're asleep? Research published in Dove Medical Press found a direct bidirectional relationship between sleep-related breathing and purine metabolism, the very process that produces uric acid. Poor overnight breathing doesn't just leave you tired. It disrupts the metabolic cycle your body uses to clear urate while you sleep. It gets more specific. People with sleep apnea face significantly elevated gout risk. Research covered by creaky joints showed that restoring proper overnight oxygen exchange may theoretically lower systemic uric acid levels. You don't need a machine. Sleep on your side. Keep your airway open. Cut alcohol before bed. Simple. Unglamorous. But if your breathing breaks down at night, your uric acid pays for it every morning. Score 6. Underrated. Free. Worth it if you take sleep seriously. Number 3. Diaphragmatic breathing with gentle movement. On a score, 8 out of 10. This is where things get interesting. This one surprised me. Most people breathe from their chest. Short, shallow, barely engaging the lower lungs. It feels normal because for a stressed, sedentary body, it is normal. But it's not optimal. And for gout, it may be quietly making things worse. A paper in the Journal for Quality and Public Health found that relaxation-based physical habits, controlled breathing combined with ergonomic movement, significantly lowered serum uric acid in elderly participants. Not slightly, significantly. Deep diaphragmatic breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system. That shift directly reduces the inflammatory signaling that makes gout crystals so painful and improves the kidney's capacity to filter urate. Add gentle movement. Yoga-based breathing techniques studied specifically for gout patients showed that breath control paired with slow joint movement improves local circulation around affected joints. Better circulation means deposited crystals have a real path out, through the bloodstream, to the kidneys gone. Here's the practice. 10 minutes. Lie flat. One hand on your chest, one on your belly. Breathe so only the lower hand rises. 12 slow breaths. Then 5 minutes of gentle ankle circles and wrist rotations, breathing pattern maintained throughout. That's it. Score 8. This is where you start feeling something shift. Number 2. CO2 balance and nasal breathing. On a score, 9 out of 10. Here's something that genuinely stayed with me. Most people think oxygen is the whole story. More oxygen, better health. But there's a compound your body produces during every breath that almost nobody talks about, carbon dioxide. CO2 isn't just waste. It's a regulator. It controls how tightly red blood cells hold oxygen. And critically, it influences your blood pH. Here's why that matters for gout. Uric acid crystallizes more easily in acidic conditions. When you overbreathe, exhaling too much CO2 too fast, your tissues can become more acidic at the cellular level. Research exploring the Buteyko breathing method raised this exact mechanism, CO2 imbalance and localized blood acidification as a contributing factor to crystal formation in joints. The American Physiological Society published work confirming that respiratory gas exchange directly impacts renal urate clearance, how efficiently your kidneys push uric acid out. The fix is almost embarrassingly simple. Breathe through your nose, not your mouth. Nasal breathing slows your respiratory rate, warms incoming air, and helps maintain healthy CO2 balance automatically. If you're a habitual mouth breather at night, tape your mouth shut. I know that sounds extreme. It may be the cheapest overlooked intervention for elevated uric acid on this entire list. Score 9. The biochemistry is surprising. The fix is free. The only reason it's not number 1 is what comes next. Number 1. Slow, paced breathing for stress-driven uric acid production. On a score, 10 out of 10. I have to be honest with you, because this is where almost everyone loses the plot without knowing it. If you've been managing gout only through diet, cutting meat, avoiding beer, drinking cherry juice, you've been addressing half the picture. Maybe less. Here's what most gout content never tells you. Uric acid doesn't just come from food. A significant portion is produced inside your own body as a direct response to stress. Cortisol drives purine breakdown. Every prolonged stress response your body runs produces more uric acid as a byproduct. And here's the part that stopped me cold. Arthritis Care of Texas documented how diaphragmatic breathing deactivates stress receptors, the full sympathetic nervous system response, and directly alters pain perception at the joint level. Not just pain. It interrupts the cortisol cycle driving production in the first place. The compound doing the work here isn't in a bottle. It's a physiological state. And it has one of the worst activation profiles of anything available to gout sufferers because almost nobody maintains it consistently. 2 things change everything. First, extended exhale breathing. Exhaling for twice as long as you inhale. 4 counts in, 8 counts out. That ratio activates the vagus nerve. Vagus nerve activation is the master switch for parasympathetic dominance. It directly suppresses the inflammatory cytokines that amplify gout flare pain. The same cytokines, by orders of magnitude. Second, timing. Without the right timing, even the right technique loses most of its power. The most effective windows are 10 minutes before your largest meal and 10 minutes before sleep. Before meal, it primes your metabolic system. Before sleep, it sets the biochemical tone for overnight urate clearance. Here's the protocol. Sit upright or lie flat. 4 counts in through the nose. Hold for 2. 8 counts out through the mouth, lips slightly parted. 12 cycles. 3 sessions a day, morning, before your largest meal, before sleep. 30 minutes total. Costs nothing. Requires nothing. Arthritis Care of Texas confirms this pattern deactivates the stress receptors that drive gout pain, And combined with the nasal breathing and diaphragmatic habits earlier on this list, the compounding effect on uric acid metabolism is real. This is the most powerful free intervention most gout sufferers will ever have access to. Almost none of them are doing it. Quick reality check before you start. These work because they engage real physiological systems. Real systems have rules. Heart conditions, severe lung disease, pregnancy, active gout flare with fever. Anyone already on urate-lowering medication. Every single one of these, talk to your doctor first. Not optional. Not probably fine. Actually call. This is information, not a prescription. Here's how I'd actually use this list. Don't try to do everything at once. That's how people quit by week 2. Start with the extended exhale.
4 in,
8 out. 12 cycles. Before bed. That's your foundation. 2 weeks. Nothing else. After 2 weeks, add the morning diaphragmatic session. 10 minutes. Hand on belly. Before you get out of bed. After a month, if it's working, switch to nasal-only breathing as your default during the day. Tape at night if mouth breathing is a problem. The first changes, less stiffness on waking, better sleep, lighter mornings show up within days. The deeper ones, the kind a doctor would see on a blood panel, take 6 to 8 weeks. The structural ones, fewer flares, longer gaps between episodes, take 3 months. Consistency, not intensity. So tonight, 4 counts in, 8 counts out, 12 times, 60 seconds. That's it. That's the strange thing about the body after 50. It doesn't need much. It just needs the right thing. Every day. For long enough. Most people never give it that. You can. See you in the next one.